Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel back here in Trenton, New Jersey. Met up with Ben Fraser with Ready.Set.Van. He's going to give us a tour today of his newest creation, so join us.
My name is Ben Fraser. I'm the founder of Ready.Set.Van. We're an East Coast-based van conversion company here in Trenton, New Jersey. And today I'm going to show you our latest model for the 2022 year. We're calling it the Highline. This particular one is built on a 3500 chassis, 159 wheelbase on a standard length. Just a real quick overview of the exterior. We've got a set of KO2 tires on Ultra rims. They're kind of mandatory if you're going to go on anything but warm, dry pavement. And in the slider we have a C.R. Lawrence window. This is by far the most attractive, in our opinion, window. It awnings out, and it's just a great looking window. It looks OEM, looks factory, so it's great for that. We just have a little short charging port over here. There's a 30 amp port for our Victron system. In our whole van, our general aesthetic is to try and make it look like a beautiful home first, and a capable RV second. All of our finishes inside are made with a special lightweight ply that we source from Indonesia. It's got a architectural grade veneer on the outside, but then very low density cores on the inside. So it weighs about 40% less than a standard plywood and like so much less than like an MDF. In this particular van, all of our finishes are walnut with the exception of the floor. We have a little pop out walnut table right here with the drawer slides that are just hidden underneath. And it locks out with a magnet. So it's really nice for a laptop, drinks, you know, whatever you like. And you just pop it in just like that. We have our fold-up leaf for the kitchen countertop right here. It's held in place with a little hidden magnet right under there. And instead of doing the normal kind of loud ratcheting extensions, we decided to do a drawer slide with a 3D printed little handle. It's rated for about 350 pounds, so can't imagine that you'll have any problems chopping vegetables. Our floor in here is a vinyl acacia. It goes beautifully with the walnut interior, and we love this floor. It's super durable, waterproof, all the things you want when you're on the road. On the side over here we have two swivels that we put in, aftermarket swivels, and also the lower seat base as well. So it has the normal drive height, but then everybody can be on the same level here. So inside here we have this elevated platform here that brings the whole dinette area up to the same level. Right below we have a little toe kick drawer, which is nice. It stands all the way underneath. Our table here is a walnut butcher block. It's actually the same as the kitchen countertop. It's really solid. It's mounted to a welded steel frame that's actually bolted through to the frame of the van. So this thing is just solid as heck. There's nothing I hate more than just like a flimsy table in a camper van. Right next to me here, the bench seat, which has drawers. And then a nice 32-inch wide bench. So two kids can sit here, or one adult really. But one adult can sit here very comfortably. There's a lot of room for a laptop, for all kinds of stuff. Also while here, we have this really nice window, which opens out, locks open. Also there's a screen and a blackout screen built into it, which is really nice. We made this recessed LED light with a machined acrylic insert that just kind of fits right in there. It's really nice. And then up here in our overhead cabinet, we have, again, a walnut face on it with these stainless rod that runs through it. And it's just a nice kind of architectural element in the van, offers some storage. Mostly we just really like the way it looks, so that's kind of nice. Over here is where we keep the water heater switch, so you can make hot water while you're driving down the road just by reaching behind you and hitting the button. Underneath me are our cushions. We use Umbrella fabric. It's expensive, but fantastic. It's totally incredibly durable, but also really soft, and it's just a nice fabric. It's the same fabric we use for our headboard and footboard. And like our whole purpose for the way we build vans is to start by building like a beautiful interior first, and then make sure that it's really functional at the same time. And so we really pulled out all the stops of this van to make this really nice walnut shower enclosure. Makes a nice accent wall in the van. Goes well with these features and everything else. Also, we bent our wall so it matches the outer shape of the van. I actually really like that. It kind of gives it a, I don't know, it's kind of almost like a slight retro kind of fuselage aviation kind of feel, which actually we did through a whole machining process where we curved the backside. So this could be one continuous piece of our 1/2-inch light ply, but it allows us to bend it and really form to the shape of the van. Same thing with our ceiling is our 1/2-inch light ply. It's been pre-finished and then finished many times. All of the seams are permanently bonded with our proprietary resin system that we use. So all these seams, quite a lot of work goes into them, but they are bonded, so they are, that joint is about as strong as the whole rest of the wood itself. So coming over to the kitchen, we were really excited about the way this kitchen came out. It's also full of like a bunch of nice little features. So I mentioned before the drawer slide system that we use to hold this up. It's really nice. It's really solid. It's a nice workspace. There's still plenty of room to enter and exit the van next to there. These are false fronts for the kitchen, but we have our first big drawer down here. It's quite deep. It's probably, I don't know, 10 inches deep, something like that. We got a number of drawers here. And then a storage area under here, which can be used for just about anything. We will also do a like an indoor jerry can gray tank system in here as an option for people who want to use the van in a full 4-season capacity. Over here we have a few drawers. This is the air conditioner control and the max fan control. You can mount those anywhere, but they just happen to be in there. Again, second drawer, third drawer. And then the fourth drawer is a special drawer. It locks out all the way, and this drawer is actually rated for about 400 pounds. So the purpose of this drawer is that it locks out and it becomes a step up into the bed. It's a bit of a jump to get in there without it, so it's certainly very handy. It also, allows for storage inside too. And we made it a different color, just so you knew it was a special drawer. And there's a little latch over here to release the lock. Got this drawer here, and then a little toe kick drawer down here for just like little items, passports, whatever you want to keep down there that most people aren't going to know about. Coming over here, so our whole countertop is grain matched, so you'll see the pattern here continues through. So this was the original piece, and then it was cut out on our CNC to fall back in place. So just a nice little touch. And we take it out. And this is the Ruvati sink. We love it. It's small, but it's deep, and so it's very functional. This guy comes out, you can swing it around. I don't think it's likely that anybody would use it much on the outside of the van because we have an outdoor shower on the back, but you could. Here we have our double induction cooktop. We can do a single, some people do none, and we just store the cooktop. It's really client's preference. The double is great. You never have to do anything with it. And for prepping, you can just fold this up. Over here we have our lighting controls. This is for 3 out of the 5 lighting zones that we have in the van. And a 110 outlet, which of course is controlled by the inverter, so turn that on. And then we have our Webasto control. So the van's got a Webasto unit. It's right down here, and that's set up so that it draws the air in through the back of the van, so it circulates the air throughout the whole van, heating the whole van, and keeping your water warm, your batteries warm, also keeping your mattress warm so you don't have this big cold surface underneath. We have these 2 little shelves here, which are nice for little items that you just want to, put somewhere, whether it's spices or anything like that, or, you want to throw your keys somewhere. Vans typically are kind of short on that type of storage, so we thought, we'll stick that in there. That'll be handy. This little hole here actually lines up with an existing bolt connection in the pillar of the van behind here. We are planning on building a whole bunch of accessories that will mount to that mounting point. I don't have one today, but they'll be coming soon. Under the bed, we've got I think it's a 7-inch mattress here. And then we have ventilation channels that are cut into the platform. So that combined with the circulation of the heat from the heater drawing air underneath should prevent the vast majority of any condensation that can build up down there. So nothing to worry about as far as that goes. Right above me, we have the Hofton 8,000 BTU air conditioner. This is a great unit, especially for this size van. It's incredibly quiet, much, much quieter than previous AC units that we've used. It operates on a remote control, and it's just great. Yeah, I've been very happy with that. In the back, of course, we have the Max fan. It's legendary. It's in every single van in the world these days. It's just awesome. On a remote control, of course. Back down by the foot of the bed, we have these overhead cabinets here. So they're sprung on gas struts. They're sprung real tight so they won't open by themselves, and we don't need to have any extra hardware or latches. You don't have to reach back there and try and get something. The head and footboard of the bed are both covered in the same Sunbrella fabric that we used for the cushions, and they have a little 1/4-inch headliner fabric behind it, so they have like a kind of a soft touch to them. So that's nice. They are removable if they ever do get stained or ripped or damaged or in any way. It's easy to pop them out. And then under the bed, we've got our Dometic CRX80 fridge. It's a great fridge. We use it in the base camper all the time. It's really nice. It's got a nice freezer compartment that will actually freeze and keep your ice cream and things like that frozen. And of course, down here we have our Webasto unit. So we use a Evo 40 Webasto unit. That's sized up a little bit from what a lot of people do. They usually use a 20, like a 2000 BTU unit. We size it up a little bit just so that you know, if you're taking the van out and it's below freezing, the 2000 doesn't quite cut it. And also it means that this is always running, you know, at its lowest setting. So it's really quiet, which is really nice. We also have this little pop-out drawer. Goes quite deep. And now time for the shower. So we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to do our shower. We really didn't want to use some of the materials that are pretty common in the RV industry. We really didn't want to use FRP panels. They're great, they're functional, but they have kind of a texture to them, and I would never install them in my own home. And if I wouldn't install it in my own home, I wouldn't want it in a van. So our solution was to use acrylic sheets that are then kind of thermo molded, basically, to fit our enclosure. So it means that like this thing that looks like a seam right here is actually a bend. So it's impossible that moisture or anything could ever get back through there. So it's a fully sealed, just kind of beautiful, almost has like a glass-like look to it. It takes suction cups really well, which is nice. So there's just a world of accessories that you could just suction cup on there. Down here, we have on the bottom of this, we have a custom fabricated stainless steel shower pan. That's really great. It allows us to put our drain exactly where we need it for the chassis of the van. And then on top of that, because it's not that nice standing on cold metal, we made this teak shower mat. So these are individual mats that can come out, so it's easy to clean underneath. This was a fun project that we did on our CNC where we just took a couple boards of teak and cut it all out. So it's pretty great. We can put just about any toilet in here. This happens to be a Thetford, they used to call it Curve, I'm not sure what it's called now, but it's a cassette toilet. That's great. You can just take it out when you take a shower, stick it back in, piece of cake. But we can put composting toilets in, we could put in just about anything. There are a lot of toilet choices these days. Over here we have the shower mixer knob. A nice, simple, just clean, no fuss, no muss. And then our shower head up here. So you can pop that off and shower away. And then right here is the Nautilus shower door. So works great, keeps the water in, which is what you want. And when you're not using it, you can either leave it closed or leave it open. It's up to you. Oh, and you might have noticed also we have an outlet down here. That obviously is hooked up to the inverter. We have 3 other outlets in the van. There's one under the table there, along with some USB outlets out by the kitchen. Okay, so welcome to the garage. Everybody's favorite part of the van, because is where you get to keep all your stuff, including bikes and whatever else you got. I'll start on the driver's side, where we have, this is our plumbing cabinet. It holds 30 gallons for the shower and the sink and everything else. Just a nice simple sight glass here, so you can see your volume, and it's lit inside, so looks like we got about 60–70% of our tank. And to fill the tank, we just have a simple gravity fill here. Pop this cap off, fill it with a hose or jugs, whatever it is that you're going to be using. And then we also have, behind this panel, we just have a little switch that's connected to some electric ball valves. So you can just flip a switch and dump the water out of your system when you're ready to winterize. So it's really great for that. There's also a port for blowing out the whole system. So if you really want to get the water heater and everything totally bone dry, getting ready for winter, it's a piece of cake. Takes about 10 minutes total. Here's our outdoor shower setup. It's got a little connector on it here. You just quick connect it on, and then you got your shower controls right there. A couple storage spots here. This is great for your camp chairs or whatever else you got. And in the back, we have another access panel for the 4-gallon Bosch water heater. In the center, we just have another nice set of shelves for storage. Stick whatever you need in there. And then on the passenger side, we have our electrical cabinet. So in this van, behind this wall, we have 900 amp hours of batteries. They are 300 amp hour Rely-On batteries. They have a self-heating system built into them, so you don't need to worry about any kind of low temperature charging issues. They just work seamlessly out of the box. So they're awesome. That'll run, you know, you could run the world off of that practically. There is a master disconnect switch up there. In future models, that's actually going to be mounted over here for easier access. And then behind this panel, most people will never need to go in here, but this is just where all the business is. So starting in the back, we have a WeBoost up there. That can be toggled on and off by switches in the front. And we have 2 solar charge controllers. The roof has 2 175 watt panels on it, and also 2 80 watt panels. So because they're different sizes, they're connected to different solar charge controllers. It's just a better practice. Got some fuses. We got a Lynx distributor here, and then this is where all of your AC breakers and your DC fuses are. So again, probably never going to need to do anything in there, but it's very clear and very easy to deal with. And of course, the big boy right here is the 3,000 watt Victron Multi-Plus inverter. It is awesome. It will pass through energy from the grid. It'll do just about everything. It's great, and it's controlled by the switch panel in the kitchen. And once again, probably won't ever need to go in here, but if you do, it's a piece of cake. That's that. Right around under here, we have our switch for the lights in the garage, and then we also have another outlet, USB, and then a 12-volt cigarette lighter. On our doors, we have our walnut door cards. These are also on the slider door. The whole van is insulated with Thinsulate. So depending on which part of the van, we either have 1, 2, or 3 layers of the Thinsulate material. It's fantastic. We really like it. It's, you know, has very, very few problems with mold and issues like that, and gives us an R value of anywhere between 5 and 15. Depending on how many layers we have. We mostly stick to set floor plans. That allows us to really work on our design and iterate and improve. Right behind me, we have a few base campers, and that was our first main floor plan that we launched the company with. Now we're making our 50th van, and we're still making improvements to it. So that's why we really like to stick to a layout business model. It allows us to produce things at a reasonable price, also allows us to produce the highest quality product that we feel we absolutely need to produce. So those vans back there are mostly base campers. This van we're calling the Highline, and if somebody's interested in purchasing one of our vans, we can help them with financing. We have a couple financing options. Help them sourcing the van itself. Right now that's a little tricky, but we have people who help with that. And then it's just a matter of figuring out what your timeline is and what you would like inside. There are a number of trim options available. So within each set floor plan, you can choose, you know, colors, materials, lots and lots of different options. The floor plan stays pretty much the same, but you know, this van has a walnut interior. We can do a birch interior. We can do an all-white interior. The awning is awesome. I recommend that to everybody. I just love it. And the AC is optional. This van also has what we call our off-grid AC electrical package, which is that 900 amp hour battery. Also, and that combined with the configuration in the electrical cabinet, that gives somebody, I mean, just an incredible amount of time to run their AC off-grid, and just a lot of freedom. So they're not constantly trying to figure out where they're going to plug in when they get to their destination. That's a significant upgrade, but it's a significant upgrade in your quality of adventure as well. The 900 amp hour setup is enormous, so we would probably ask you what you think you need that much power for, but you know, we'd be happy to figure it out as well. Sometimes people will come to us and they know exactly, you know, they want this exact van and they're just ready to go and they don't want to ask any questions. And then other times we have people who, you know, they've seen this thing over here and they've seen this thing over here and they're trying to figure out what it is that they need to put in their van. And a lot of times it makes a lot of sense to just take a few steps back and have a conversation about, you know, what your use case is, how you plan on using the van. You know, are you going to be taking it on weekend trips? Are you going to be, you know, parking at campgrounds where there's plugs? Or are you going to be trying to be off-grid as much as possible? You know, are you going to be pavement? Are you going to be, you know, down dirt roads? So everybody's going to use it differently. You know, it's really, that's actually kind of the fun part, is to talk to people and see what their plans are, because you know, these things go out into the world and we kind of hope that they have, you know, great adventures. So,
Ben, thanks for coming back to the channel today. I'm going to make sure that I link to your social and your website. And also, I'll play your original walkthrough video on the last van we covered as the very next video, so our viewers can enjoy that one as well.
Thanks, that'd be great. And you know, that video of the base camper, actually after that video, I know we had several of your subscribers who booked with us, and I think at least 2 now are literally on the road right now because of that video. So, so definitely check that out. And you know, thank you, Patrick. It's always great having you here.
Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love it. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.